Yes, everybody, Russell, the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. I've decided to go and pick up my kebab because I need something to cheer me up after today's dreadful performance, bar about 15 minutes. It was all Southampton. And I think they deserved to win, really, in terms of how they played. Um, but I tell you something that has just cheered me up. I've just watched the Nicholas Fulkrug post-match interview. Go and check it out. It's on Sky Sports. It's a hell of a viewing for a number of reasons. One of them being it's probably the most refreshing and honest post match interview that I've seen from a player or a manager in itself, Um, he basically said it's a mentality thing. It's And it's something that I was saying to Alex, and something that obviously I was watching the game in a very different position than they usually watch. So I was in the dugout, or just to the side of the dugout in the tunnel, so I could see Graham Potter, who was literally pulling his hair out throughout the game, and I was thinking something's happening, something he's not getting his point across. And Nicholas Falkers said the same thing. He said it's a mentality issue. Half of the team want to go for another goal. Half the team wants to defend, and we're not doing. The manager sets out to basically sort of be on the front foot, and we're not doing it. And we're not doing it. And it sort of goes along with what was I understand the rhetoric, the whole Potter out thing. I understand it totally. There's not much to justify in terms of conceding a goal against a side who've only scored 20 odd goals this season. Um, just over a tenth, just under a tenth, an eighth, I think, of all their points we gave them today. But for me, as I said, it's easy. It's easy to go right. Do you know what? Get rid of the manager, bring another one in, rinse and repeat. Same thing happens. The heart of the problem is we've got a squad which is underperformed probably for the last 18 months, 2 years, and you you've got a situation where you've got whoever's you know it's like getting a new conductor. It's like getting a new conductor, but the orchestra is all it's the same old orchestra, and it's still shit. We've got some massive overhang problems from 2 regimes ago. As I said, David Moyes, and it's the same thing I said with Lopetegui. Really, there was a you could see it's almost like as soon as they get onto the pitch at London Stadium, they just press restored to factory settings, and they go back to playing um, as if they were playing under David Moyes' side. But what was refreshing to hear was Fulkrug saying, "Look, we're not doing what we're being told to do," and whether that is a fact of players aren't are playing for themselves, and usually they do, obviously, particularly the ones who are looking to maybe move on in the summer. Um, they're not doing anything any good for themselves, really, in terms of their performances. But to hear that coming from a player, I mean, I don't think I could love Fulkrug anymore. I think he had a decent game today. As I said, I think he's not a shit player. You can't get into the German side and into any sort of top five, top 10 national side and be shit. He ain't shit. And actually today, I thought again he was unlucky. Should have probably got the goal. I think that wasn't a foul on Ramsdale, but obviously, you know, they overprotect the goalkeepers really when it comes to these types of things. And you saw the link up play even towards the end. I think again there was a bit of smoke and mirrors from Potter in terms of saying that he couldn't play, 90 minutes. He probably did 75 minutes. Although to be fair, again, seeing the game from my perception today, literally from about 50 minutes onwards, every 5 minutes, Potter shouts out, "Folks, you all right?" And he would put his hand up, and then he knew where it was going to start dropping off. But you know, he's a good. I still think. I think a season with Nicholas Fulkrug this season would have been a different result in my eyes, or we'd have picked up some more results. Um, we know we've got a lot of problems here. We know we've got a lot of problems here. And I think there's an aging squad. It's a squad that we haven't we've invested in, but invested in the wrong. We've held on to players for too long. We've been maybe too sentimental for some, not too sentimental for the others. You look at someone like a Pablo Fornals. You know how we miss his connection between the fan base and the club. Similarly, someone like Declan Rice. I think we've missed Declan Rice this season. It's shown even more. I think last year we sort of got away with it a little bit, but definitely not this year. Um, you know, Alvarez got a knock. People saying, "Oh, fucking hell!" He was in the dugout. Wasn't like he had a row or anything. I think by the sounds of it, what I heard from Earwiggin, he picked up a knock on Friday. But again, that's what I've heard. So it's not great. We're not in a great position. It's been a shit season, and there's clearly some sort of disconnect between the coaching staff and what's seeing on the pitch. We've heard that from Potter as well in his press conferences, saying, you know, he's frustrated for the players because what they're doing in training isn't. And so for me, it is, as Nicola said, a mentality thing. It's not some bloke, you know, it's someone who's actually in there as saying, look, we're not being told to do this. We're being told to do this, and half the team want to do it, but half of the other team are so shit scared of conceding that they've got into themselves and probably, as I said, return to factory settings. But it was fascinating to hear that. And if you've got here, I mean, you know, even basically said we were, you know, it's shit. We were shit. And I really respect Nicholas for that. And again, one of the last players off the pitch as well. You can see why someone like Tim Steiner wanted to bring him in because he is a leader, I think. And if it's a mentality thing, it kind of asterisks this season until Potter, you know, and I hate, and I, you know, not broken record, but people say, oh, you know, and I have been saying, look, he's inherited a squad which was poor already. Not poor, that's the wrong expression. He's inherited a squad that were poorly managed and were down on form. There's no denying the fact that the likes of Kudus for a long part of this season hasn't played well, and people are going to say, oh, it's because he's played out of position. Kudus has been most successful, in my perception, in my opinion, playing on that left-hand side. He's been far more I can't think of the word. I mean, his assists and coming off the wing, he's been far more useful playing on that left-hand side than he has playing in his preferred positions. Bowen, put Bowen on the right-hand side, that's what you get. Cuts inside left. Standard Bowen goal. You know, let Soler bring the ball forward. Let Paqueta bring the ball forward. You know, people wanted the back four. We got the back four. People wanted the striker. We got the striker starting today. I just think it's just, and by the sounds of it, it is a mentality thing. And it might be someone who maybe, I don't know, maybe Potter has rubbed some of the players up the wrong way and they don't want to play for the manager yet. You know, and those ones may well be shipped out in the summer. And I think they will be. As I said, I saw Carl McCauley after the game and I jokingly gave him a little nudge and went, "You're going to be fucking busy this summer." And he laughed and he went, "Yeah, I think I am." And he will be. And he, you know, but that interview showed me that there is some teams there. There is a team there, a nucleus of a team there. And I mean, Holly did in a post match review saying we played like a team of individuals, and we did. But by the sounds of it, we played like a team with two mentalities. One wants to go forward and get a second. One was so shit scared of conceding they went into themselves. And that's when you need your captain to pull people up. But we didn't. The big fucking German that's pulled the people up. And I hope that some of them get their head out their arse. Because the manager can pick the side, the manager can put the tactics on, the manager can make the subs. But when you get on that pitch, it's the players that matter as well. And too often than not, we can sweep. It's easy to sweep, you know, sweep the brush and go, right, get rid of Potter, bring someone else in. It's, you still got, you know, a new composer, a new conductor rather, will still have a shit celloist, will still have someone who's, you know, not up to their game, not playing as well as they usually play. And that's the issue for me. But anyway, please go and watch it. Come back. Let me know what you think. I'll be fascinated to hear your comments. Look, I appreciate I'm going to get loads of pot out. Look, it's your prerogative. For me, as I said before, I'm sticking. But he does need the players around him. He does. You know, there was some periods of the game where it was better, but Southampton came, and I think Southampton deserved the win. To be honest, I think they really did. I think they played for a team. They played like a team who were fighting for something, and they were fighting for not being the worst fucking team in the Premier League ever. And I mean, if they could finish. I mean, Tyler dribbling was unlucky. You know, the couple of shots in the first half, Ariella kept us in the game. I think we were lucky to get away with a point. Anyway, take care. Stay safe. Have a nice Easter Sunday. Don't eat too many eggs. And I'll speak to you soon. Much love. Bye-bye, peeps.